G-thoughtz.
Wherefore art thou? Wherefore art thou?
I've often heard scientists or physicians, the guys that do physics, are always trying to unify quantum mechanics and Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity, and all that stuff. And I always laugh because it's ridiculous. And why is it so obvious to me, knowing that we live in a simulation of some sort, whether you think it's a computer simulation or it's something simulated by a god, a deity? Replace simulation with an existence. If I take away the intent, it's the same thing. And we exist, so something's being simulated. Whether or not everything's pre-programmed or whether you have some autonomy and some impact directly in your orbit. Unless that's the case, then it is a simulation. So let's assume it is. Well, what would a simulation need? Well, it would need some sort of programmed reality to exist because it's a simulation. Well, if that's the case, how do you program a reality? I'll wait. I'm smoking my cigar. You ready? Oh, you already knew it. It's some matrix bullshit. Yeah, I just stuttered because you know it's true. It's some matrix bullshit. It's the code. The code is quantum physics. The reality that exists when you're in that reality is the theory of relativity. It's Einstein. It's Newton. It's gravity. It's not quite space-time. That's something else. Because if you're creating a simulation, then that simulation, this is the big bang of a thought that I have here, and I'll end on this. If the simulation exists, it is also existing within something else, literally. So it's impossible for it to not have some components that match the reality that it's existing within, literally. Could those components be dark matter? We can't explain it here because it's not part of the program, and therefore it exists as space-time on the other side. In other words, as the simulation moves, it needs empty space for it to render in time. What's the time? Well, that time is controlled on the outside of the simulation. That's truly space-time, not what we're living in now, because we could ignore time here. You cannot ignore time there. Time cannot be ignored in the simulation on the outside because the simulation exists because 1 second at a time or 1 millisecond at a time, it needs time to exist. We don't, because we could never ignore time if we were the ones that were running the simulation. The simulation runs to a clock. That's how it works. So tell me again now, once I've blown your mind, whether or not you believe that we could ever unify the theory of relativity and quantum physics. I'll wait.